Okay, I removed the tire. The reason I put the tire back on is because I don't work on it constantly, and I don't want somebody coming over and knocking it off the jack stand, and possibility of hurting them. We'll be working on this pulley right now, and that is what are they? Looks like 6mm Allen wrench I'm going to use. Okay, and they go on those bolts right there. There's 4 of them. I'm going to be removing those. Yeah. You may have to tap them to loosen them up. Yeah. And that'll remove that, and then I'll be taking the bolt out of the center and removing that pulley here in a few minutes. And I will see you back here in just a couple seconds. Alright, I got the pulley off. You don't need to mess with the bottom bolt. There's just the 4 hex-headed wrenches. Got the pulley. I got the timing mark set up for the bottom notch. There's a notch right there, a notch right there. You're going to want it. That's bottom. And right now I'm just going to go in and going to remove these clips. I'm going to remove this. Where am I? I'm going to remove this bolt right here. This will take this case off, and I'll actually be able to remove this whole timing case assembly and take the belt off. And I'll be right back after I remove this bolt here. This I believe is a 10mm, and I'll be right back. Alright, I got this bolt almost all the way out here. Should be able to slide this by maybe without removing the whole thing. Okay, that comes out. It's just a plate. There's the bolt. And I'm going to have to pop off these clips right here. Okay, and there's one on the back of the engine. And that will allow this case to come off. Okay, I guess there's going to be a couple. Oh, I got 2 bolts. I got 2 more 10mm bolts right there, and I believe there's one on the other side here, way down at the bottom just above the oil pump. Okay, right there. They just got to come out. Okay, and then I'll be able to take this cover off, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Hey, I got the bolts off. And this will just slide right up through here. Okay, this one stayed on there. This one here has a rubber at the bottom. Just a small bolt. Okay, that goes down in the bottom. And you're going to want to make sure that rubber stays on there. And here's the belt. And looks like the tensioner might have went on this one, because the belt looks like it's all in good shape, but it is off the pulleys. Yeah. So this belt just got wore out and there wasn't enough tension on it. Tensioner probably failed. Down in the bottom. You'll be able to see the tensioner. Okay, down there is the tensioner. Way down in the bottom. Okay, you got your intake, you got your exhaust, and right there is a tensioner. Okay. And for some reason that had a problem. So we're going to put everything back in line and see what happened. And I'm going to do a video here in the next few minutes on that. I'll see you in a few. Thanks. Okay, here's the tensioner, and if you look, there's a indicator. Real hard to hold the camera and look at this at the same time. Okay, there's a where am I? Okay, there's an indicator right there. And that is supposed to align with a notch. Okay. And it is very far apart. So either this motor was rebuilt or somebody just didn't tighten this bolt. I'm going to investigate this a little farther. Okay, you can see the notch at the top and then the pointer. That's supposed to be pretty close together. It's like, I don't know, 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch off. So that allowed a lot of slop into the belt, which would have caused the valves to hit the pistons. Maybe they just put this motor together and they didn't align it up. I'm going to see if I can align the camshaft and intake valves up, reset this with the belt and the tensioner in the proper thing, and see what kind of compression we have on the cylinders. Maybe they didn't hurt the valves, I doubt it. These interference motors are really touchy tight. And I will talk to you in a few minutes. Thank you. Alright, I put the timing belt back on. I adjusted the tensioner up. I rolled the motor over a couple times. There ain't no valves hitting right now. Like I said, it probably has a bent valve in there. Line the timing gears up. Right here, and then on the bottom, I showed you that one before, but the motor rolls over 2 complete revolutions. Right now I'm going to take these off. I got the spark plugs out, I got the wires off. I'm using a 5mm hex head on these, and I'm going to loosen up the clamp on this bolt or on this hose and take that off and see if I can see any valves that aren't moving up and down. That's usually an indication of which valves. Needless to say, the whole engine's got to come apart to change the valves anyways, but that's what I'm working on right now. Thanks. Alright, I got the valve cover off. Here's your cams. And down in here is your lifters. Let's go roll this engine over here, see what's happening. So far it looks like all of them are coming up. Oh, that right there has some play in it. That's probably a bent valve on number 1 on the exhaust. Number 4 looks like it might have an intake damaged. There's a lot of play in that one, and all I'm doing is pushing on the top of the hydraulic. See if I can see if the valve spring is actually pushing the valve all the way back up to the top, and it doesn't feel like it is. So I definitely got at least 2 bent valves, if not more. But since I'm in there, I'm going to replace them all anyways. But there we go. That's the camshafts on top of a 2-liter Daewoo Isuzu General Motors engine. And I'm going to be pulling it all back apart. Getting down in here, I'm going to be taking off the exhaust manifold and intake manifold, fuel injection rail, along with your EGR valves and coil packs on the other side over here. And I got a little ways left to go. It's not too bad though. And we'll get this engine running again. It looks really clean. Just whoever worked on it or didn't work on it, looks like they didn't adjust the tensioner correctly. Or maybe it just loosened up on them and that's what caused the failure. But it'll be all brand new and running here again in a few minutes or a few hours.